Hey guys, Mr. Decker here. This is the Web Development Unit, Unit 2 on code.org, and this is Lesson 4, Mini Project HTML Web Page. Bubbles 1 and 2 are practice and challenges, getting us warmed up for Bubbles 3 and 4, where we will be building a little website. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's go into 1A on paragraphs. It says add paragraph tags to separate the paragraphs. So let's jump in. And it says use paragraph tags. The start paragraph and end paragraph tags are placed around text to indicate that it is part of a paragraph. Placing text between paragraph start and end tags lets the computer know that it should be treated differently, often just spacing it out from other text. So under do this, it says use the paragraph tags to separate the content into different paragraphs. All right. So over here we have, well, if I turn my inspector tool on, we have animals native to the Americas as a H1 header, and then this huge wall of text that comprises of all these individual paragraphs. So let's go ahead and do this. What makes it a little bit easier, I think, is that you already in the workspace have these separated out paragraphs, but they're all showing up over here as a big wall of text. But anyway, it makes it easy to figure out where we should put our start and end paragraph tags. Remembering that our start paragraph tag right here just has that less than symbol, a lowercase p, and a greater than symbol. And then at the end of each paragraph, you'll want to put the end paragraph tag, which consists of the less than symbol, a slash, lowercase p, and then the greater than symbol. And then as you can see over here in the display area, or preview area, sorry, you have that paragraph already separated out. So let's go ahead and just work through it with the rest of them. End paragraph, start paragraph, and end paragraph. And then finally the last paragraph. And as you work your way through and you're putting in those end and or start and end paragraph tags, it's automatically updating over here. If it for some reason it is not automatically updating for you, just make sure you're clicking that refresh and save button up here, and that will help you out tons and tons. Okay, let's see. Where's my finish button? Maybe I'm zoomed in too much. Let me zoom out. No, I'm still not seeing the finish button. Hang on just a tick. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. Short pause, and we're back. My finish button was hiding from me, so I'll go ahead and hit the finish button. And we're on B, debug paragraph tags. Find the bugs caused by the incorrect paragraph tags. Okay. All right, so let's see. Fix the code so that none of the tags turn pink. So we'll get that out of the way. And oh, goodness gracious. Okay, yeah, we have some problems here already. So let's fix that. Well, Control Z. Control Z is my friend. Let's get that back on there. So you're looking for the pink code when you're debugging in WebLab, and we have an end paragraph tag, and we haven't even written a paragraph tag or written a paragraph yet. So I'm going to put a start paragraph tag at the beginning of that sentence and an end paragraph tag at the end of it. I'm going to get rid of this by just highlighting it and backspacing. And then for some reason there's a start paragraph there. This is really messy, so let's go ahead and put the start paragraph tag and end paragraph tag here. Whew. All right, I moved really quickly through that, so hopefully you picked it up. But basically, you're just cleaning up that code that was sitting all over the place, and then popping in those start paragraph and end paragraph tags for each of the two sentences that are there. Let's head to C over here. Debug the missing paragraph. All right, so it looks like the second paragraph is missing. Can you fix the bug? Find and fix the problem that's causing the bug. Immediately, I'm seeing some pink code here. Let's see. So that's good. Line 8 looks good. Line 9 looks fine. Line 10 looks fine. Line 11. Okay, immediately I see that that period needs to be a greater than symbol, and then it's missing the greater than symbol for the end paragraph tag. Check. Line 12 looks good. Line 13 looks good. All right, I think that's it. We got our paragraph to show up. Let's move on. All right, so we're looking at debug headings. We're on bubble 1D. All right, debugging headings. There are a few issues with this page's headings. Can you fix them? Fix all of the pink errors. Adjust the heading tags to be the appropriate size if necessary. All right, can do. Oh, yeah, and immediately on line 1, we need to fix this because it starts with an H1 tag and ends with an H3. So we need to sync that up. And then line 7, we've got a start paragraph and end paragraph, and those are coded correctly. For ballet, starts with H3, ends with H1. Let's change that to an H3. Start and end is good. Line 10 starts with an H1, ends with H3. Let's make both of these H3 because this is a subheader. We want it to be the same size as ballet over here. All right, good paragraph, good subheader, and good paragraph. So that's that one. Moving through these really fast. All right, let's look at E. Larger headings. Add larger headings. Here's a page about animals of the sea, not by the sea, but of the sea. Can you add a catchy large heading and title it? Do this. Whoop, if I scroll correctly, we'd be doing better. Add a larger heading at the top of the page. Okay. Oh, okay. So we don't have an H1 tag or a heading up here. So let's add a heading. So we'll do H1. And then we'll just say animals or creatures. Let's do creatures. Creatures sounds more fun. Of the sea. And we decided on an H1 tag for that header. There we go. Creatures of the sea. Dolphins, coral, and orca whales. All right, we'll finish that one. Toggle this out of my way every time. And then we're looking at line breaks. In some situations, like a poem or a list, you'll want to start a new line inside the same paragraph, like you do in poetry. You can use this line break for this, all right? So note, it says use the break tag to enter line breaks, not to separate paragraphs. Always separate each paragraph with its own set of start and end paragraph tags. And then separate each line using the break tags. Okay. So let's get rid of these paragraph tags. We don't need them. And let's make sure we have line breaks in here instead. So right here, let's put a line break. And let's put a line break here. And there you go. And the reason why you don't want to use paragraph tags for this is because it'll kind of double space this if I were to have paragraph tags. And using the break tag just makes the poem work a little bit better from a visual standpoint because it's only single spaced. All right, let's finish. And that's all of the practice bubbles on bubble 1. Let's finish. And we're on bubble 2. It says HTML lists. Check out these new tags that will let you add lists to your web page. Cool. All right, create a bulleted list. Create a list of unordered elements. Unordered elements, all right? It says, look at how the given code creates an unordered list. Then create your own list of desserts. Do this. Look at how the unordered list and list tags are used to create an unordered list. Use the unordered list and list tags to create your own list. Okay. So we'll look at this. Let's see. So we already have an H2 tag for this header, and it says UL by itself on line 8, and we have an end UL on line 12 by itself. And what that's telling the computer is, hey, computer, I'm about to make an unordered list. And down here, hey, computer, this is the end of my list. And everything in between of those two tags should be your list tags, where you list each item you want to appear on your list like this. So let's do another list of favorite desserts. All right. Yes, dessert. Everyone's favorite part of every meal. Let's see. We've got we need the UL. So we're basically just kind of copying what we have up here to make sure it works. So start UL. And I'm going to go ahead and enter down a few times. You don't have to do it this way. You can totally do it in a different order, but this is the way I like to do it, just so that I already have my start unordered list and end unordered list tags on their own lines. And now it's time to make our list tags and add items, not add atoms, but add items to our list. All right. Okay, start list tag. Let's see. Desserts. Let's go with cheesecake. If you don't like cheesecake, there's a fair possibility that we can't be friends. All right, another list item. Let's see. What's another dessert I really like? Ooh, German chocolate cake. Yum. Okay. And then one more list item. What could I do? What's another dessert that I really like? Ooh, key lime pie. Key lime pie. Yum, yum, yum. This list is making me hungry. Maybe I'll have some key lime pie later. I don't know. We'll see. All right, that's that. So we've made our unordered list just like they did up there. We have some desserts that we like down here. And it shows up correctly. We've got our 3 bulleted items over here. All right, 1 second. I'm going to pause. I'm getting a phone call. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. The wife was calling. Okay, let's see. Create an ordered list. Use the ordered list tag to create a numbered list. So we already learned how to make the unordered list. Now we're going to make a ordered list. You do an OL or ordered list when you want your list items to show up numerically, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kind of thing. And that's helpful for when you're making, like, putting instructions together, step-by-step instructions for people to follow, like a recipe. That's helpful. Or it's helpful when you're like, this is my top 5, right? Or whatever, right? If you're making your YouTube videos. Not me. Making YouTube videos? Yeah, okay, we get it. My top 5 video games, my top 5 books, my top 5 this or that, right? Okay, let's see. Let's go for it. Let's make our ordered list. So OL, and then we'll go ahead down here and do end OL. Now the computer understands that what's happening between those two tags is a list. And then for the ordered list, it's the same thing. You just have to do these end or start and end list tags. And see the first item, they are cute. That's already up here. So top 5 reasons a turtle is the best pet. I don't know if turtles are the best pet. I'm a little bit partial to cats as the best pet. I travel a lot, and cats, by and large, are pretty content animals. They don't really have to have a pack. Like, dogs are much more social than cats and tend to get really bad anxiety if left home alone. While cats, left alone, are just like, I'm the king or queen of the castle kind of thing, and they're just fine with it. Although I will say, my wife and I went to Alaska recently, and we were there for 16 days. And while we were gone, my sister and my niece came by, and they were feeding the cats. for us, like every other day, scooping the litter boxes and cleaning up their gross, grody cat pukes and hairballs that inevitably end up around the house. Well, anyway, we get back 16 days later and they're like, oh, your hair. Well, let's snuggle a little while. And also, it's time for some pate, right? Cats are pretty chill. I really like cats. Turtles are probably pretty good pets, but they're a little bit more needy in terms of what they need to get by through their for their general day. All right. Anyway, enough about cats. Next, you should add the HTML to your page. Okay, we'll do that, and then add. Okay, further do this. Add HTML to make this page you sketched in your project guide. Well, you might not have a project guide, but oh yeah, this icon means that this level is part of a larger project and changes will be saved across those levels. So that's going to be true for bubbles 3 and 4 here. And we're going to make a website. What I want to do is I'm going to have at least 2 headers of different sizes. I'm going to have at least 2 paragraphs, and I'm going to have at least 1 ordered or unordered list. And just to have the practice for each of the things we've learned about so far, paragraph tags, header tags, and ordered or unordered list tags, let's make sure we are touching base on all 3 of those things so that we're getting that practice in, and it's just going to be really helpful overall. Okay, so let's make an H1 tag for our title for this page, or main header rather. Let's see. Hobbies. We'll just say hobbies. That's pretty simple and to the point. And there's hobbies there. And then I'm going to enter down a couple times to a blank line 8. This feels like a good time to remind you, don't mess with this already existing code. Leave that alone. You want to put all the content that you're putting on your website over here between the body tags. If it's going to be in the body of your web page, then make sure that it's between the body tags here. All right, enough of that. Let's see. Let's do a paragraph, kind of explain what this web page is about. This web page is just a couple of lists. I don't need that. A couple lists of things I like to do in my spare time. Boop, boop, boop. All right, there we go. And then let's do the first list. Let's say like favorite video games. Because I play video games, you play video games. And we'll make this a subheader. So we'll do like H3. Not just arbitrarily choosing the H3, it's a subheader. I want that to be more prevalent on the screen than my paragraphs, but I don't want it to be more prevalent than my title. All right, so let's make a list of our favorite video games. And I'm going to do an unordered list because it's really difficult for me to say this is my favorite of all time or that sort of thing. I just kind of have like a handful of video games that I really love. And let's go ahead and do that. So unordered list, UL. Again, like we did earlier, I like to go ahead and make my start and end list tags. It just makes sense in my head to do it that way from an organizational standpoint. All right, and then let's do our list tags here. So the first one I'm going to say Super Mario World. And I love this game, despite it being as old as it is. I grew up with that video game. I had a Super Nintendo when I was a little dude, just a little Mr. Decker. And that video game had a profound impact on me. And also, I recall my dad telling me that video games were a waste of time. And now I teach kids how to make video games. And I remind them of this every so often that, obviously video games weren't such a waste of time. I was in love with video games to the extent that I wanted to make video games, not just play video games. And so I do now, and I teach other people how to make video games, as well as, like, right now I'm teaching you how to make a website. So pretty cool. You learn a lot of stuff. And then let's see, Super Mario World. What's another one? Chrono Trigger. Another one from the Super Nintendo era of video games. Another fantastic game. Let's see. If you haven't heard of Chrono Trigger, it's totally worth it. I'm a ginger. The main protagonist of Chrono Trigger is a ginger that may or may not have had a little bit of influence on me liking that game as much as I do. Let's see. The next one, we'll do like 5 of these. I'm going to say the Halo series. I'm just going to say Halo just in general. I'm not going to pick a specific Halo game. Won't get into that because there's a lot of people around the world who are very serious about which Halo is the best and which ones are absolutely horrible and it should never have been made and everyone should be ashamed of themselves kind of stuff. I'm not really into that. So I just like Halo. I like the universe. I like the story. I love Master Chief. I think it's great. Okay. Let's see. The next list item. What's another video game I really like? Let's see. Ooh, Half-Life 2. Not sure if you've ever heard of that one or if you even care, but Half-Life 2, amazing game. I'm not sure why I put that hyphen there. It's not really needed. Just Half-Life 2 is simple enough. And for the final one, for the 5th one, let's do, let's see. What's another video game? I'll do one that I've played very recently that I've really liked. Let's say Xenoblade Chronicles 3. That game literally just came out super recently. Cool. All right. Oh, whoops. I forgot about my NUL down here, hanging out, having fun, chilling on his own. All right. And then finally, well, I think I said I needed 2 headers of different sizes. I have 2 headers. I'm going to have a 3rd header. And it's going to be another H3 tag to match up and be uniform with the favorite video games header. Let's see. Let's do favorite books. All right, favorite books. And this time I am going to actually make a numbered list. I don't know that it'll be 5 books long, but we'll see. This time OL for ordered lists, and we're going to end OL from there. And favorite books is showing up correctly. Let's see. Favorite books. All right. First, most favorite. Probably Catcher in the Rye. Really love that book. End list item. You see, as you add these, they automatically populate over here on your preview website. And it automatically added that one. Most favorite. All right, list. Number 2. Let's see. Let's do Ender's Game. Love that one. I haven't read the other books in the series, but I should. I absolutely should. Another one that I read recently that I really loved was Hail Mary. It's about a guy who wakes up from a deep sleep and he has amnesia and he's on a spaceship that's flying into a star. And he has to figure out who he is and what to do in order to not fly into the star. So, really interesting concept. Let's do another list tag. And this time we will do Lord of the Rings. Love this book series. Tolkien is a legend. And let's do one more. Let's do Harry Potter. Duh. Everybody loves this series. Who doesn't? If you don't, it's okay. I'm not mad at you, but you really should give them a decent shot. The Harry Potter books are great. A lot of people in my generation grew up with them, and a lot of kids in the Gen Z and Gen Alpha are growing up with these books too, and that's really cool. Having a similar to same experience I did when I was growing up as a kid, when those books were like hugely popular, and every time one came out, there were lines like several city blocks long to buy books, and that was a really cool experience. Let's see. I said that I was going to have 2 paragraphs in this, 2 headers, 2 paragraphs, one ordered or unordered list. I actually have 2 lists. Let's do one last paragraph. And I'm just going to kind of do this as a hope you like these lists, and that you get if you haven't played or read any of these, then I hope you give them a try. In paragraph. And that's it. That's the whole web page right there. I'm pretty happy with that. All right, let's finish. And on bubble 4, it says review your page. Next, check to make sure your page has everything that you want. Check to make sure all of the content is there and that all of the HTML tags structure the content correctly. Make sure your code is organized, readable, and free of bugs. Well, no bugs, very readable, nice and spaced out. Each element on my page over here is spaced out here so that it's nice and organized and easy to visually find bugs in case there were any. All right. That's the end of this lesson. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I hope you had fun making your own web page. And, while I made my web page, I'd certainly want you to make your own. And you could make it about literally anything. I made mine about 2 of my favorite hobbies, video games and reading. And so if you have hobbies, maybe you want to make a couple of lists of things that you really have enjoyed yourself. So anyway, hope you have a good one.